So we understand now that the work of Allora and Calzadilla look back at history, goes back to deep time, goes back to the prehistory, even in terms of, we'll see when we'll talk about the performance, even the pre-language moment or era in history. So this notion of prehistory, this notion of this way they have to contemplate how time can aggregate and how time can be the factor of revelation and erosion is also very present in the work where actually they anticipate this passage of time, they anticipate this notion of archaeology. And it's you will see at the end of the exhibition that you have this petrol pump, which is like a fossil, which is a petrified petrol pump, as if we are 177 years from now, and an archaeologist will actually find somewhere a petrol pump that is totally out of usage, out of use, because hopefully by that time we will have figured out how to live, how to move, how to function without fossil fuel. And you see this petrified pump, which is actually like when you are on an archaeological search, when you extract from the ground a bone, a fossil, and it's fascinating to look at this object thinking that, wow, maybe in 300 years people won't even know what this object was meant to do or was meant to be in our culture. It's a little bit like when you have someone very young right now looking at a telephone booth and not understanding why would people have telephone booths when you can have the telephone in your pocket. People not knowing what an old school dial telephone is. It's a little bit the same with this petrified petrol pump. It's the answer to the dinosaur that is actually here next to me. It is another kind of dinosaur. Another very important aspect of Allora and Calzadilla's work is their relationship to performance, and therefore relationship to time. Performance happen in time. Their object, like again the tree which is here, or lifespan which is upstairs, this 4.5 billion year old rock hanging in the gallery, they are activated in time. A performance is an event that develops across the notion of time. So the notion of performance, the notion of activating the sculptures is at the center of their work, as if the sculpture themselves, like the tree that we have here, Entelechy, which actually carries the name of the exhibition, is itself a stage. On a regular basis during the exhibition, the artists are inviting a choir to sit on the tree and sing. On a regular basis, we have a choir, a very large choir in the first gallery that come around the sculpture, black out and sing. Around the piece lifespan, same thing. On a regular basis, a small choir come and whistle almost all these performances are humming. The hum of electricity, the hum of the planet is almost one other connecting tissue of the exhibition. The hum almost as a pre-language manifestation of words, a pre-grammatical manifestation of language. There is actually, the last work in the exhibition is this gigantic radar that is supposed to sound telescope that was supposed to capture sound or language or sign coming out of different solar system. This relationship to performance is very important to understand their work. Their work are sculptures. There are sculptures that stand on their own, but there are also stages. Like we're talking about Hope Hippo. Hope Hippo is a stage for this performer who is reading the paper and blowing the whistle in our face at the entrance of the exhibition. Another very important piece that is key to understand their work is the piano, what we call the piano. The title is Stop, Repair, Prepare, which is this piano. And in this piano, the artists have managed an aperture, a hole at the center of the piano. And every day at 3 o'clock, a musician comes, enters the entrail, the belly of the piano, and plays the piano inside out, only play one tune, one musical composition, which is Beethoven Ode to Joy, and play this piece of music walking around like a snail with the piano. Ode to Joy, of course, carry a lot of historical meaning. It's the ode to freedom and liberation, but it was also a piece of music that the most cruel dictator in the world cherished and used for propaganda. So this piece of music on itself contains all the contradiction of history. And by performing the piano from inside, what they are doing is that actually performing the brutality of history, the contradiction of history with this piece of music that itself carries so many contradictions. What's beautiful too is that because of the hole that has been managed in the instrument, from time to time, the keys do not work, as if the history itself or the utopia carried by this history, by Ode to Joy, has been interrupted. In a way, when you look at Allora and Calzadilla, and I will go back to the first piece, Hope Hippo, it's about hope. It's about hope that can be revealed when actually we talk truth to power, when we exercise criticality. And when you see this character, this performer on the top of this hippo covered in mud, you can not think about the Greek philosopher Diogenes, the cynic philosopher that asked Alexander the Great when Alexander asked him, "What do you want? Ask me whatever you want and I will give it to you." Diogenes' answer was, "Please move away from the sun."